Okay.
Good. All right. Good morning, everybody.
Good
Hope
morning.
everybody has had a great week so far.
Lucy,
And
you
let's get
have to
started.
turn off your microphone and your video.
Oh, I do. I didn't know that. Okay,
Both.
no problem.
Both.
No problem. Both. Okay, you got it.
All right. So we're going to get started. We're going to run through a normal class. Next class, we will go back to doing our arms. And next class, meaning next virtual class. Yeah, let's get started. Feet together, right fist, left palm, show courtesy. And we start with our standing meditation. Remember to keep the knees buckled, the hips tucked in. And we're going to move on to the Qigong. Breathe in. And out. Breathe in. Out. In. Out. Breathe in. And out. Out. Breathe in. Out. Breathe in. And out. And the closing, breathe in. And out. shake it out. Neck stretch up. Down. Down. Right side. Left. Right. Left. Neck rotations. Other way. Hands up. Wrist rotations in. Other way. Shoulder rotations forward. Back. And slap the kidneys. Chest. Center. Hip rotations. other direction. And feet together. Knee rotations. Other way. Separate the feet. Knee rotations in. Other way. Shake it out. And ankles, right side first, inside circles. Other way. And switch sides. And other way. And shake it out. You move on to the grab the ball waist turning. Inhale as you go up, exhale as you go down. Remember to keep the core engaged as you move around. Breathe in. And out. Breathe in. Out. In. Out. Other way. Breathe in. Out. In. Out. Last one. Breathe in. And out. Shake it out. Stand up. And slap the left side. Switch. Legs. Lower back. stomach washing. Top of the head. Heat up the hands. Massage the face, forehead. Eyes. Nose. Mouth. Neck. Thyroid. Kidneys. And shake it out. And I'm going to move on to the 8 brocades. Try and run smooth through it. That way we can focus a little bit on the form. Number 1, holding up the sky for respiration, digestion, elimination. Breathe in. Out. Breathe in. Out. Breathe in. Out. In. And out. Breathe in. Out. in. And out. And shake it out. Move on to number 2. Pulling the bow and shooting the arrow. Remember, as you go out, keep the eyes focused on the index fingernail at full extension. Focus on something that's in between the 2 fingers. Revert back to the nail as you come back. This one's for the heart, liver, and the eyes. And remember with the stance, it's easy for people to fall into this trap, letting their knees cave in. You want to do the opposite and push out. You should feel more of a stretch in the inside of the leg too. Breathe in. And out. In. Out. Breathe in. Out. In. And out. Breathe in. Out. In. Out. And the closing, breathe in. And out. Shake it out. And we move on to number 3, pressing up and down for the stomach and the spleen. Breathe in. And out. Breathe in. Out. Breathe in. Out. In. Out. Breathe in. Out. Breathe in. Out. And the closing, breathe in. And out. And move on to number 4, looking back to rid fear and anxiety. Remember, open the eyes wide as you turn back. Breathe in. And out. Breathe in. Out. Breathe in. Out. In. Out. In. Out. Breathe in. Out. And the closing, breathe in. And out. Shake it out. Next one, number 5, wagging the tail. This one's for the heart and the lining of the heart. Remember to keep the hands pressed on the top of the knee. There's a pressure point in there that correlates to your heart. Breathe in. Out. Breathe in. Out. In. Out. Breathe in. Out. In. Out. Last one, in. And out. Shake it out. Next one, number 6, jolting back for the immune system. Breathe in. Out. In. Out. Breathe in. Out. In. Out. Breathe in. Out. In. Out. And the closing. Breathe in. And out. All right, nearing the home stretch. Number 7, staring at the fist with angry eyes. Remember, as the eyes go out, the arms tense and the eyes open wide. As they come back, the arms relax, as do the eyes. Breathe in. Out. In. Out. Breathe in. Out. In. Out. Breathe in. Out. In. Out. And the closing, breathe in. And out. Shake it out. And the last one, number 8, rising up with the heels, bringing the energy to the crown. Remember, as you go down, you want to drop a little bit heavy so that you can feel kind of a jolt through. I guess vibration probably be a better word through your body. Number 8, breathe in. Out. breathe in. Out. In. And out. Three, four, hold, two, breathe in, two, three, four, hold, two, breathe out, two, three, four, hold, two, breathe in, two, three, four, breathe out, two, three, four, hold, two, breathe in, two, three, four, hold, two, breathe out, two, three, four, hold, two, breathe in, two, three, four, hold, two, breathe out, two, three, four, hold, two, breathe in, two, three, four, hold, two, breathe out, two, three, four. Now we move on to a 6 count. Breathe in, two, three, four, five, six, and hold, two, three, breathe out, two, three, four, five, six, hold, two, three, in, two, three, four, five, six, hold, two, breathe out, two, three, four, five, six, hold, two, in, two, three, four, five, six, hold, two, three, out, two, three, four, five, six, hold, two, three, in, two, three, four, five, six, hold, two, three, out, two, three, four, five, six, and open your eyes. And we're going to stretch. So slowly adjust to butterfly stretch. And try to get your knees as low to the ground as possible. And head down. Gonna kind of try and move through the stretches a little bit quickly so we have more time on the form. Right leg out, stretch forward. And switch. And open up to straddle split. Open up as wide as you can and try to get your head down to the floor. right side. Switch. And shake it out. Stand up. And we move on to the 24 postures. Cool. All right. Why does it look like it didn't look like that before? All right. All right. 24 postures. Try to, well, two things. First thing is, remember to keep the tip of your tongue on the roof of your mouth and let the saliva build. Supposedly, as you let the saliva build in this way, in coordination with the breath, it's better for you, develops more enzymes and things like that. Then the second thing is, pretend, you can't do this for obvious movements like to sink the needle, but pretend like you have a tea glass on the, or a cup on the top of your head as you do the form to emphasize the proper posture. And keep those things in mind as you go through. And we begin. All right. Oh, awesome. You have plenty of time to go over some stuff. Cool. There was something I wanted to point out, and it was just, okay. So before we get into the moves, I know we stopped, I want to say here. Yes, or no, I think we stopped after the kicks. But nonetheless, when we start and end the Tai Chi form, there's kind of like this, I always found it really awkward because when I first started with the Tai Chi stuff, I had already been doing the Kung Fu stuff for a long time. So, we end the form and then we just go back to normal, end of the day. You're done, on to the next. Tai Chi is a little bit different. When you start, you're supposed, and it's difficult to do it in class because it takes a little bit. But when you're kind of just standing here, you're actually supposed to be doing something. It's not just setting up for the form. You're supposed to sort of, okay, from what they called it, from what I read, it's called like you enter a void. And to simplify what that means, you're supposed to kind of just shut the world off and enter a very meditative state, which is why we do a lot of meditation throughout the class so that you can get acclimated to it. So as you stand here, you're supposed to act. It sounds weird saying actively shut your mind off, because if you shut your mind off, naturally it's not being active. But you want to try to actively quiet this and do the form. And then at the end of the form, and keep in mind, you're supposed to be like that throughout the whole form, which is why it's so important that you get it down. At the end of the form, you do all this, you close. And this is going to be the opposite, meaning you're essentially mentally in a whole other space as you're doing the form the whole time until the end. You take your last breath, you close it, and this last part, depending on what you're doing, if you're going to continue practicing and go into another form or to the same form or Qigong, you might want to stay there. But if not, use that little standing period of time, be it for 30 seconds, a minute, a few minutes, however long you want to do it, to bring yourself back to kind of reality in a metaphorical sense. So thank you for coming to my TED Talk. But so it's a little bit weird, and especially if you don't have the form 100% down, it's hard to want to shut your mind off when you're thinking so much about the movement. And it takes a while, but eventually a good way to do it is to talk to somebody and walk through the form. Because if you can talk to somebody and do all the movements, then it proves that you know the movements. You don't really have to think about them. Just like playing an instrument and singing. If you can get the chords down and you have the lyrics memorized, it's a lot easier to put it together. All right, moving on. Let's go to, I want to say we stopped at the single. No, we didn't. I kind of remember going over this. All right, I'm going to take it from the kick because I do remember going over this and I wouldn't have stopped there. I'm pretty sure I covered the kick. So going from the kick, bring the arms down, and notice you're keeping the weight on this leg even as you go down, which is difficult. So if you want to change that, put the foot down first and start shifting the weight before you put all your weight down on that one leg. Bring the arms back and around and here. Now, this is level with your temples. Well, it varies. Some people say level with your ears. Some people say level with your temples. It's really your call. Naturally, my hand goes here up towards my temples. But if you want it level with your ears, that's cool too. Now from here, flashback, it's the waist guiding this action. So you turn And notice this hand over here doesn't really move all that much. It's the left hand that's doing all the work until you reach here. They come up and you kick just like before. Now, that's kind of rinse and repeat. You've done the flashback before, you've done the kick before. The next move is snake creeps down. Snake creeps down the vine, I think the whole name is. I always just call it snake creeps down. So from here, very similar to what we did the last time with this thing. The weight comes down on this one rear leg. Now, backhand comes forward. Now the waist is what's going to guide the rest of the movement. You turn, hook up, and this hand goes down, leading with the fingertips to here. Now, for a lot of people, that becomes very difficult. So, the modification to that is going to be same thing, but instead of going all the way down, just shift the weight a little bit and go directly into the next movement. Instead of stopping down here, which we wouldn't either way, but the weight on the knee is different. Go straight up to here. So, very quickly, there's two ways to do this. You can either shift forward, the right hand comes up, the waist guides the action here, hook up, fingers go down. If you want to, you can go all the way down. If not, you can stay up. And either way, you go straight up to this position. And let's leave it there. I think that's a good stopping point. I know we stopped at snake creeps down, the first one. And we're almost done covering the whole thing. Cool. Yeah, that's good. That way we can continue to fine tune it, make it better, and focus on the more specific detail. We still have 2 minutes. Okay. So, something I wanted to address with the Qigong, which is usually the most difficult to kind of conceptualize because it's not as tangible as the Tai Chi. You want to visualize your energy sort of going to your specific organs, which is why it works either way, but nonetheless, keeping that visualization of your energy coming from the ground up and stimulating the varying parts of the body. Particularly, I like to cite number 3 because it's the most visually simple. Here, you want to visualize your energy coming up and into this part. The way this sort of works is you're compressing one area, so you're sort of blocking the energy flow to one to maximize the flow to the other. So in that way, you can say, okay, I know that this is where it needs to go. This is for whatever organ is on this side, stomach or spleen, and vice versa. We switch. Remember that whatever you do on one side, you kind of want to do on the other, depending on what the exercise is. And that's the case for pretty much all of them, except for maybe number 8 and 7. But even number 6, in one way, we're keeping one part of the body compressed and the other part is being stretched and vice versa. This tightens up, this gets stretched. So keep that in mind as you do the exercises. And to an extent, that also applies to the Tai Chi, not for the same reasons. In terms of, particularly with the legs, there's always one side that's having more pressure applied to it. So that's kind of a good gauge to see, mentally, am I doing it right? And if you feel, okay, I can feel the difference on one side or the other. If you can feel, Okay, if one side is stretching, one side is tight, then you know you're on the right track. And remember to practice the form and try to get that mental state down. Starting from the beginning, try to keep it through the end. I think that's about it. Yeah, so hopefully I see you all on Thursday. If not, I will see you all next Tuesday. Stay safe. Make sure you practice. Try your best to get that form down and memorized. And have a good rest of the week. Right fists, left palm, show courtesy. Thank you all for coming out.
See you Thursday.